Hello, my name's Joshua Reed and I am the director of Blasted. I would like to take a moment to talk about it and the characters in it and the actors. But first of all, we can't help talking about Blasted without talking about Sarah Kane as playwright. The difficulty with actors was always going to be focusing on the play rather than Sarah Kane herself. Obviously she left a huge shadow on the theatre world, a void that's never been filled by anyone because obviously no one's weird enough or that emotional. But the big challenge was always going to be, okay, we're going to do Sarah Kane, so let's jump about the place and do something arto-y. These actors and me myself, we looked at it from a very naturalistic point of view. What if these characters existed? And we do exercises like in a monologue that are key to naturalism. We use naturalism formulas to Sarah Kane, which isn't very naturalistic. So that was always going to be the difficulty, and I think the actors did rather well. They approached it from an adult, a professional mindset, which is why we got to the point of performance. We've got Ian, Kate, and a character which is only referred to as the soldier. Ian, he's the last man left on Earth. That's basically what he is. We set it in Ireland, Northern Ireland, when the Troubles were happening. This is around chaos, explosions happening everywhere, fires raging, and Ian survives. Obviously he's not alone. We have Kate, who the best way to describe this girl is as autistic. She cannot empathise with Ian's character. There is even a scene where Ian has gone blind and she doesn't care for him. She doesn't... nothing there. The person playing Kate, Laura, did a great job of it. She's a very talented actor and it took her a lot to go away from the classical themes that she's used to. If I take a moment to talk about Matt, who's playing Ian, he did it rather well. Obviously this is his first serious play with a good director. I'm going to take that out, sorry. If I take a moment to talk about Matt, he did it very well using naturalistic techniques like in a monologue, like I said before. He pulled off Ian very well. He's obviously he's like a fish out of water with this because he's used to comedies, he's used to plays with not a serious note, so working on Sarah Kane it's a bit so it was quite a challenge for him. Then we have Soldier. Now the Soldier is the most interesting part because if we look at Breck styles where you have Guard 1 where we keep our distance, I don't like that. So Callum, who played Soldier, I got him to delve deep and he did. History, character history, even coming up with the name, he did very well. I think if I may say something to the actors who will no doubt see this interview, it was a great joy working with them and I hope to work with them again in the future, not too soon.
Well, I really think that it's the first proper challenge that I've had since I came to college, and really a first challenge in acting, because not having much experience, but given the chance to audition and get the part in such a controversial play.
Well, it's very different from what I've done because I've only ever done one semi-serious play and quite a few comedies. It's vastly different to anything I've ever done before, and it is a severe challenge getting into the head of these characters that are quite frankly just fucked up, as well as trying to get out, trying to just try and see the world through their eyes, which isn't particularly happy. I mean, she was clearly quite ill, as it was shown when she decided to kill herself, but I feel a bit sorry for her that she had such a... it's not even a bleak outlook on the world. She just seemed to see hate in absolutely everything.
I think as a playwright, she's quite astonishing. I think the way that she uses words in a descriptive way through the language and the dialogue that the characters have together is really, really interesting. Her descriptions of actions that the characters have performed over their lives are just so graphic and detailed that it's just so well written, I think.
Grim.
Well, yeah, it is grim, but
You can
That's-
respect the talent.
that's
Yeah,
what you're going in for, isn't it? Oh well, I've really enjoyed working with Josh Reed. I think that is the way that he works, giving you the chance to perform it how you'd like to, and then basically just seeing what he likes, keeping that in, and pulling it apart. Just the use of trial and error that he uses with his ideas is quite, I think, is quite amazing in a young director. I think the way he complements your acting skill by the way he directs the play is just quite, I don't know how to say it, really well done.
I like the fact that the scenes constantly change. I mean, today it was changed quite dramatically, and the whole thing was changed. But I like the fact that occasionally when we're going through it, he'll say, "I don't like that. Let's change it," because it keeps the novelty there. It doesn't ever get dull or dry. I don't see that much of a contrast between his directing and directors I've had in the past, or from other teachers. In fact, teachers I've had in the past is probably quite a bit better.
I think I like the way he can accept your ideas. So like, if you don't like what he's doing, or if he doesn't like what you're doing, you can talk about it really easily together. And like, if the way that you're doing it seems really well, but he might not like it, he'll still leave it in because it works for you, and it works for the audience.
And the character.
And the character, yeah. I think it has a lot, yeah. I think he's not afraid to tell you the things that he doesn't like, or the things that you're doing wrong as an actor. So he can work as an acting sort of coach or teacher, being able to give you the experience that you need to know what works and what doesn't. Not just in the play, and with everything that you can work on in the future.
I think every time I've worked with a different director has changed me in some way. Like, most of the times for the better, or occasionally for the worse. But it's not. I don't see it as sort of just levels of being crap, good, better. I'm seeing it sort of. I can take different bits from each director that I've had. So yeah, there'd definitely be something to add from this director. Experience. It's like I said, the fact that it's so vastly different. It's like a bit like being thrown in the deep end acting wise, but at least I've got this to work on now. It's like, if I doubt anything I'm going to come up with later in my acting career is going to be quite as grim. But after, let's say, sexually abusing a woman, being raped, and eating a baby, I think I've got quite a bit to work on, so that nothing should faze me that much, ever.
I think that it's really given me the opportunity to develop my acting talent. That I come here as a quite amateur actor. I haven't done anything that compares to this sort of play, and it's just given me the space to grow, to be able to take such a graphic play and be able to perform it using small a little amount of experience. I think getting to know your fellow actors is completely different. I think the time you're given on an amateur film is like nowhere near as much as you would working on an amateur play. Being able to spend weeks working with the other actor on a play, getting to know their styles, getting to know how to bounce off each other, isn't really given to you in the filming process. But I still think that the way that you perform on camera and perform on stage is completely different with the way you work character, the way you develop character is.
I think the development of character that you get in theatre is a lot more down to you, and well, you get a lot more say over what you do. And I think doing the acting in general, I think it's quite difficult in theatre, because if you're doing it in film, if you corpse, that's relatively okay. It's frowned upon, but you can have another take. If you corpse when you're performing it on stage, quite a bit more of a severe punishment.
Well, I just think you have a you have a lot more time to deal with that sort of thing on stage, with having rehearsals for a lot more time than you would on film or camera. It's just being able to distance yourself from the way that you would act in one from the other, because you wouldn't be able to go from working on a camera to working on stage keeping the same sort of processes that you do, because they're completely different.